Alicia on Demand. I am Alicia, back with the second video in the series, Show and Tell, Things I Would Save from the Fire. Now, as you know, 2021 is the year that I declared the year of joy and minimalism, as I embark on a journey to not only find joy, but to minimalize the noise and the things in my life that are kind of weighing me down. So I started to follow through in getting rid of 1,000 things. I am now up to 465 things that I have donated or sold, and I have many more that are waiting to be sold. So I really hope that I reach my goal soon. It's been surprisingly easy to let go of things. Maybe I've learned a lot of lessons in the past year and a half, or whatever this time frame has been, with some things that have gone on in my own personal life and with the whole COVID quarantine, whatnot. But I really don't need to hold on to those things anymore. And they really don't mean what I thought they meant. But there are still things that do mean exactly what I thought they mean. And I am here to share with you today one of those items. Now, last time I shared with you my grandmother's ring and how important that was and the story behind that item. And today I am sharing with you my Cabbage Patch doll, Brooke Belva. Brooke is naked. Let me give her a little bit of modesty. Brooke is naked. She made it through all these years, but I don't know what happened to her clothes. I don't know why they didn't make it. Maybe she's a nudist. I don't know. But Brooke is very precious to me, and I will tell you why. When I was growing up, without disclosing my full age, but I have a Cabbage Patch doll, so that can give you some kind of indicator. When I was growing up, black dolls were not in abundance. When Cabbage Patch dolls came out, almost everyone I knew had one. Now, I didn't grow up in a rich community. I think Cabbage Patch dolls were $45 a pop back then, which was insane. But somehow, people managed to get these dolls for their children. And all my friends had at least one. Some of them had several. But during that Black Friday, the big scandal, the big deal was the Cabbage Patch stampede. People lined up. I think that was the first real memory I have of people lining up for a Black Friday event. And at whatever store it was at the time, was Walmart around then? Ooh, yikes. Whatever store was selling the Cabbage Patch Kids, there was a stampede, and a mother got trampled and had to have like severe medical services, all behind people fighting over the Cabbage Patch doll. Now, anybody who knew my mom, that was not going to happen. It was not about to go down over a doll, ever. So she was not lined up for said Cabbage Patch doll to make Christmas the Christmas to remember. As a matter of fact, at that time, it wasn't even on my radar. Why, you ask, if I just told you all my friends had a Cabbage Patch doll? Well, I grew up in a community where I was the only little chip in the cookie. Yes, I was the only black girl in the school, and all of my friends were primarily white, and their Cabbage Patch dolls were white. And I know you've probably heard or seen that experiment where all the little black girls gravitate towards a white doll. I was not that little black girl. I had no desire for a Cabbage Patch doll because all the Cabbage Patch dolls I had seen were white. Until when they started reporting on the Cabbage Patch doll being the it toy of Christmas. After Christmas had happened, they showed all these little girls holding on tightly to their Cabbage Patch doll. There was news footage of a girl with a little black Cabbage Patch doll. And at that moment on, I knew I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll, and I wanted a black Cabbage Patch doll. I wanted her to look like me. I wanted a Cabbage Patch doll. I don't know how we were gonna find one, but I wanted this Cabbage Patch doll. Now, that was in December, and my birthday was in March. So my mom said, well, maybe you can get a Cabbage Patch doll for your birthday. What I learned later, and didn't know then at all, is that she had no idea how she was going to find a black Cabbage Patch doll. And as a matter of fact, she had gotten in the phone book. There was no internet back then, kids. She got in the phone book and found the numbers to all the stores in the local area that sold Cabbage Patch dolls and asked them if they had a black Cabbage Patch doll, if they sold black Cabbage Patch dolls, because we hadn't seen them. And the answer was no. Some people laughed at her. I remember telling my friend I was waiting for a black Cabbage Patch doll, and she was confused because to her, I should just get a white doll, and a doll's a doll, it's a Cabbage Patch doll. But I was not budging. I wanted the Cabbage Patch doll that looked like me. And my mom called around, and she finally got a hold of someone at Toys R Us. And Toys R Us told us that with their next shipment of dolls, they were going to order black Cabbage Patch dolls. So I was so excited, and my mom said we would go out there on my birthday. There was not going to be any mystery of what I was getting that year, that we would go out there and I would be able to select a Cabbage Patch doll. So we went out to Toys R Us on my birthday, and we walked in, and I ran to the doll area, and there were no black Cabbage Patch dolls. I was crushed, devastated. It was my birthday, and back when you're a kid, your birthday is a big deal. And the only thing that I cared about or wanted was a black Cabbage Patch doll. And however many years it's been later, I remember that feeling of just heartbreak. And we were getting ready to leave the store, and my mom had frustrated when the woman said, "Did you find everything okay?" My mom said, "No, we had been looking for this black Cabbage Patch doll and there was none on the shelf." And the woman said, "Well, the truck is here with new toys and we are downloading them as we're speaking. Let's go out there and see if there is a Cabbage Patch doll that meets your standards." I remember this. On my birthday, I got on the truck of Toys R Us. Now, I don't know what the safety regulations were. All I know is they let me on the truck, hoisted me up there, and in this area, the Cabbage Patch dolls were being laid out because they were bringing them in, and there I saw Brooke. I was in love, and Brooke Belva, I don't know who named her, was there, and she had on this sun little yellow dress, and I just was so excited that I too had a Cabbage Patch doll, and she kind of looked like me. And that was years and years ago in my childhood, and somehow through college and moves and basement floodings and things being thrown out inadvertently, Brooke survived. Her dress did not. I gotta get Brooke a dress, seriously. Sorry, Brooke. But she survived, and she is one of those things that's precious to me. She's absolutely not going down with the minimalism count. She is here to stay forever and ever and ever. So that's my story. That's item number 3, I think it is, on my precious things that are just absolutely staying with me for as long as I'm here on this earth. Comment down below and tell me about something that is a deal breaker for you, something that you are absolutely keeping no matter what. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Alicia On Demand, and tell me about the things that are important to you. I hope that through sharing, through my show and tell videos, I inspire you to start thinking more about what is important, to let go of the things that are weighing you down, and to hold on tightly to the things that are symbols of dear memories for you. Thank you for spending your time with me. If you like my content, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload again, and comment down below. I'd love to hear from you.